What does a shipping box have to do with ADHD? And are shoes an appropriate place to store snacks? Well, the answer to the first question is part of the 5 ADHD parenting hacks I'm going to tell you about. And the answer to the second question is yes, they can be. See, parenting kids with ADHD can feel very overwhelming, and it can be paralyzing trying to figure out what the next step is. I know many parents can relate to what one of my commenters is saying here. So I'm going to make it more straightforward and give you 5 things you can do right now in under 5 minutes each to make ADHD parenting easier. Because sometimes the hardest part is just getting started with something and not worrying about doing everything. It's the small, consistent changes over time that will give you big results in the long run. So let's jump right in. Take out your phone, or maybe you're already watching this on your phone, and open your calendar or reminders app. Do that right now. Pause the video if you need to. Don't listen to even one more sentence until your phone is in your hand and you have a scheduling app open. And if you've heard me mention this a million times before and you haven't scheduled it yet, just do it right now before you keep watching the other tips. Okay, if your child is 6 or younger, find 5 to 10 minutes today when you can play with your child alone without distractions. Make it an appointment in your calendar or set that reminder. And if your child is 7 or older, find a time in the next 3 days where you can spend 20 to 30 minutes alone with them. Schedule it right now. So why is this the first thing I had you do? And how will this make parenting easier? Well, above all else, you always want to work on strengthening your relationship with your child. If you want ADHD kids to listen and have better behavior, there's no better way to start than with relationship building. A stronger relationship means better understanding and communication. As the parent, this often means taking an active interest in your child and joining them in what they enjoy. By doing that, you show them that you're paying attention to what's most important to them. To make the most of your time together, you should learn what to do and say during your relationship building time. But more on this later. Now, for kids 6 and younger, do the same thing every day for the next week. You can just do a recurring appointment at the same time every day, but if you can't make that happen, then pick a new time each day. If your child is 7 or older, schedule 1 or 2 more times of that 20 to 30 minute time slot in the next week. So in under 5 minutes, you just plan for some quality, regular time with your child. And yes, the actual relationship building time that you need to put in will probably take more than 5 minutes, especially if your child is older. But the hardest part, the planning and getting started, is something you can do in under a minute. By the way, make sure you do what the next hack talks about during this special time with your child, and you'll avoid the common things we all fall victim to. Here's the truth. As parents, it's more intuitive to tell our kids something we want them to do differently rather than comment on what they're already doing right. I mean, it's our job as a parent to teach our kids, and correction is a normal part of that. But for children with ADHD, giving a correction is not the most powerful way to change their behavior or help them learn. It's something to avoid, especially during special time moments. This is because kids with ADHD likely have differences in their dopamine system, which is responsible for motivation and reward. When dopamine is released because of positive reinforcement, kids with ADHD usually learn better and pay more attention. Also, kids with ADHD tend to get more negative feedback and correction than their peers. So this natural lack of positive reinforcement and more negative feedback on top of that can leave them feeling like they're not good at much or that they're not doing anything right. And I know you want to avoid your child feeling like that or developing that as part of their self-image. So what do you need to do? Shine a light on their strengths often. Tell them out loud when you notice something positive they did. Intentionally pay attention to progress they make and tell them you see that. That time they got really frustrated but didn't yell at you, tell them you appreciate how they talked to you even when they were upset. We can also pay closer attention to their unique abilities and things they enjoy. Talk with them, take interest in, and help them further develop the strengths they have. Have a kid who's great at building with Legos? Have them give you a tour of their latest creation or build something new with them. Maybe find a Lego class or meetup at your local library. So take a minute to write down something in your phone that you can tell them the next time you see them. Or set a reminder for yourself to regularly shine a light on their strengths. And remember to do this during your scheduled relationship building time too. Your positive words and your interest in what they love only take seconds, but can have a lasting impact when consistently done over time. So on to parenting hack number 3 and my Amazon shipping box. While this hack can be helpful for any family, it's particularly useful if you're a parent with ADHD or if you have an ADHD child who's working on having more independence. And it has to do with one of the trickiest challenges when it comes to ADHD, staying organized. While it's tough to do when you have ADHD, it also, ironically, can ease some of the difficulties of ADHD. Our goal with this one is to make it harder to lose or forget things and make it easier to keep belongings in order. And this is especially helpful during transitions when rushing can sometimes make everyone emotional. So to help with this, you're going to make what some people call a runway. It's a place you walk through on your way out the door where everything you need is all ready to go. To help you get started with this one, I'll show you my runway for my kids' swim lessons. Now, they're young and they currently have lessons at the same time, so I'm usually in charge of the one bag that we bring, but you can make separate bags for each child. Inside the bag, I've got everything we need: swimsuits, towels, goggles, flip-flops, change of clothes, snacks. I store this fully packed bag in our hallway closet. After doing laundry after the swim lessons, I put the swimsuits and towels right back into the bag, not in my kids' rooms or a linen closet or wherever else you might store stuff separately. That way, when it's time to go, I just grab the bag and go. If you want to get fancy, take an extra minute to make a checklist in your phone with everything they need. That way, if you have two grown-ups sharing transportation duties, you can share your checklist so they have easy access to. Set a weekly reminder on your phone to check all your runway items and replenish anything that's needed. This way, when it's time to head out the door, you're all set and don't have to worry about forgetting something. You can make different runways for different activities or types of outings. Your runway doesn't need to look pretty. Remember that Amazon box you just put out for recycling? Go grab it and use a Sharpie to label it for whatever kind of runway you need. This one here I use for 1 week during my daughter's summer dance classes. And yes, the snack bars do stay in the shoes so I can visually tell when to replenish them. So before we go on to number 4, I got one runway ready for you. And that's to tap the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Your support motivates me to continue sharing content like this so every family can get access to the support they may need. So thank you for that. In all seriousness though, pick one thing to make a runway for and take 5 minutes to go do that right now. Or at least make a checklist for it so you and your child can easily grab the needed items later. All right, so you've got a runway set. Sometimes though, even with the best intentions and planning, things still get emotionally heated. Well, listen to these sentences and see if you can guess what they can help you with. They're a small human with less, sometimes much less experience than me. They learn through experiencing their emotions. They are the child, I am the grown-up, and it's my job to show them how to be. My child needs me right now. For the next few minutes, they are what's most important. The other stuff can wait. If you haven't figured it out yet, don't worry. Just grab a pen and paper or open your notes app, or better yet, open a voice memo. Take a couple of minutes right now to jot down or record yourself saying some variation in your own words of those sentences. Like right now, go ahead. I'll leave them on the screen for you while I give my cute puppy a pet. You've just taken the first step in helping yourself stay calm when your child is not. Emotion regulation takes practice and it takes time, even for grown-ups. Oftentimes, changing or regulating our own feelings starts with recognizing and changing our thinking first. And having some phrases ready to say to yourself will help you stay in a calmer state of mind. What's really important is that you try to create a pattern of responding calmly to your kids' high emotions over time. We want to aim for the majority of our responses to be ones where a child feels safe, think their parents get it, understands the boundaries, and can look to their parents as a guide. You don't need to be perfect every time. Have compassion for yourself that staying calm when your child is not is hard to do, and sometimes you will mess up. And here's a bonus tip with this one. If your child is young or shorter than you, in the moment, you can lower yourself to their height so you're more eye to eye. This physical change of getting on their level instead of towering over them will usually make it more difficult for you to escalate. You're visually reminded of how little and inexperienced they are. Also, remembering roles in moments when things are heated will help you respond more effectively. Some of your biggest jobs are to model behaviors you want to see in your kids, set boundaries, and be consistent. And then also remember, regulating emotions is a learning process. Kids need their parents to help them with that. I talk more about this with an extra tip in the PDF guide version of this video. So if you want to have a quick reference for these 5 ADHD parenting hacks that you can go back to whenever you need it, just download the free guide from the link in the description. All right, and the last thing to make ADHD parenting easier is actually something I have a whole module dedicated to in my ADHD masterclass. But here's a quick thing to get you started on it. And I'm sure you've heard this last thing like a broken record whenever you've sought out parenting advice. And while it's really important, it's often really difficult in practice. So I'm going to focus on it from a different angle. And I promise you it can make a difference even if you have very little time for this, like most ADHD parents. So I know you've heard it before. To take good care of your children, you've got to take good care of yourself. Self-care, right? But raising a child with ADHD demands a lot from parents, and it can leave no time left for you. That doesn't make taking care of yourself less important or less possible, though. As an ADHD parent, it's even more important we find ways to do it. And no, I'm not going to tell you to go take a warm, relaxing 5-minute bath, but if that helps you and it's feasible for you, by all means, go and do it. Instead, what I want to focus on is something I'm calling elimination self-care. And I promise this is not potty humor. So, what could you eliminate that's getting in the way of taking better care of yourself? Do you really need all those notifications on social media platforms pinging you all day? Do you really need those apps on your phone at all? What about that stack of school papers that angrily stares at you every night to be sorted? Or what about that box of outgrown kids' toys that's been sitting at the bottom of the stairs that everyone keeps tripping over? Decide on just one thing and do something to remove that thing right now. It'll probably take you less than 5 minutes. Getting started is the hardest part, and removing something may only take you a matter of seconds. This doesn't have to be something you'll get rid of forever, but maybe just try it out. So finish this video and then delete that app with the gorgeous pictures of completely organized and tidy homes. Go recycle the school papers you don't need to keep. Put the box of old kids' toys in your trunk to drop off at the donation center. Protect your energy, your emotions, and the things you say to yourself by letting go of something that's getting in the way. And speaking of stuff getting in the way, remember the first hack I told you about? There are quite a few things that get in the way of that relationship building time. There's more about this in the free guide I mentioned, but to learn exactly what to do and to avoid during those moments, check out this playlist over here. And if you want a deeper look at the most essential ideas parents of kids with ADHD must know, take a look at this video. It'll help you build a close relationship with your child, even when things are hard and frustrating. So go watch something next, and remember to put your relationships first. See you in the next video.